Good day everyone. Before we start our report proper, let us first have a game called Guess the Jargons. Jumbled letters will be shown on the screen and you are given 10 seconds to comment down your answers. Are you ready? So let the game begin. Guess the jargon. The word is air pressure. The word is cloudy. The word is forecast. The word is low pressure area. So those are some of the words that we will learn on today's report. And a lot more, so stay tuned. Now let's go to our report proper, starting with Mr. Lars Insai.
This is the video that we used for this reporting. This is a public weather forecast by Pag-asa issued at 4 a.m. on March 3, 2022. This forecast was done by the weather specialist named Samuel Duran. Here are the jargons mentioned in the video. First is the low pressure area. The low pressure area is a developing bad weather that came from the intertropical convergence zone which can be found near the equator. It moves counterclockwise in the northern hemisphere and clockwise on the southern hemisphere. The low pressure area is formed in the oceans, usually in the Pacific Ocean, which is the biggest body of water in the world. A low pressure area usually begins to form as air from two regions collide and is forced upwards. The rising air creates a giant vacuum effect, creating a zone of low pressure. The clouds, thunderstorms, and heavy rains occur when the low pressure area is beginning to form. When it becomes bigger and stronger, it will now form into a typhoon. However, low pressure area can change its predicted direction or path due to the ridge of the high pressure area. The next jargon is the Philippine Area of Responsibility or PAR. It is the landmass or oceans that is held accountable by the Philippines. According to Pag-asa, the total size of PAR is 4,497,165 square kilometers. The Philippine Area of Responsibility is an area in the northwestern Pacific where Pag-asa monitors weather occurrences and significant weather disturbances, specifically tropical cyclones that enter or develop in the Philippines. Along the boundaries of Philippine Area of Responsibility are the West Philippine Sea in the western area, the Pacific Ocean in the eastern area, the Bashi Channel in the northern area, and the Sulu Sea and Celebes Sea in the southern area. The third jargon is the easterlies. The easterlies are winds coming from the Pacific Ocean or in the east. This can affect the Philippines any time of the month, but it is usually dominant during the dry season. Easterlies are the reason why we experience an increase in temperature. It brings hot and warm weather, especially in the eastern section of the country. However, because heat and moisture are part of the water cycle, it can then cause thick cloud formation. That is why, aside from hot weather, it can also result to thunderstorms that are usually felt during afternoon and nights. The next jargon is the cloud cluster. These are clouds that are grouped and closely gathered together.
Good day, I will continue presenting the jargons mentioned earlier by Mr. Larbian Sisinsay. First, we have localized thunderstorms. Thunderstorms are a type of bad weather that can occur anytime, especially in tropical countries like the Philippines. Thunderstorms are a result of growing cumulonimbus cloud, which is a type of thick and dark cloud that usually produces thunder, lightning, gusty winds, heavy rain, and sometimes hail. It usually lasts for 30 minutes and longer. Also, thunderstorms does not cover a wide range of places as it can only affect areas within 5 kilometers. Localized thunderstorms are thunderstorms that occur in a specific part of a place. Next, we have isolated rain shower and scattered rain shower. But before that, we will differentiate a rain shower from rains. Rain showers imply the weather will change a lot during the day with rain on and off, whereas rain will bring continuous wet weather for hours at a time and then it will be cleared. So rain showers bring brief rains, while rains bring continuous wet weather that can last for an hour or more. Isolated rain shower. In isolated rain showers, the rain-bearing clouds is small and isolated, resulting to rain showers that are occurring only to a small part of the forecasted area. Only 10 to 20% of the forecasted area will receive measurable rainfall within the forecast period. Hence, most of the neighborhoods remain dry. Scattered rain showers. Scattered rain showers are those whose area coverage at any instant is about 10 to 50% and whose occurrence across the landscape is random. Gale. Gale is an unusually strong wind with velocities ranging from 28 to 47 knots, or 32 to 63 miles per hour, or 51 to 101 kilometers per hour. In practice, a wind with an exceeding force of 8 on the Beaufort scale is counted as gale. The gale warning is an alert issued by national weather forecasting agencies around the world. This warning is announced when a location is currently or imminently experiencing gale winds. Gale warning allows mariners to take precautionary actions to ensure their safety at sea or to seek safe anchorage and ride out the storm on land.
So this is the application that we used. It is called Weather Forecast, Accurate Local Weather, and Widget. And we can see here that it gained 4.9 ratings, meaning a lot of users are satisfied in the application's performance. This application can provide accurate and detailed weather forecast information, including hourly, daily, and timely weather forecasts. So this is how the main page of the application looks like. We can see the location, the day and time, the situation of the weather, and based on this screenshot, it says light rain is happening, as well as an advisory to alert users in the location of what might happen. It also shows the current temperature of the place. Here we can see the hourly forecast, the daily forecast, and more detailed information about the weather. Details about wind and pressure are also shown. It has radar and information about the air quality. And on the last part is an information about the sun on what time of the day it rises and sets, then the current phase of the moon, and it shows here waxing crescent. The possible activities that can be done under this weather condition are also stated here. By the way, we can see advertisements here because we are using the free version of the app, and you have to pay for the premium version if you want to remove the ads and have access to more features that the app offers. And another thing, we can see here a more button, this one. If you click that, you will be redirected to a detailed 1-week weather forecast. And to talk about that, we have Miss Maritas Absin and Miss Francis Day.
Hi, good morning everyone. For the weather last March 6, the temperature was 82 degrees and would rose up to 88 degrees. It was a cloudy day and windy in the afternoon. The average wind speed was 12.8 miles per hour north. During the night, the temperature goes down to 74 degrees and would rose up to 77 degrees. For the weather last Monday, March 7, the temperature was 83 degrees, which would rose up to 91 degrees. And there was an expected downforce in the afternoon. The average wind speed that day was 10.5 miles per hour north-northeast. During the night, the temperature would go down to 76 degrees and would rose up to 78 degrees. For Tuesday, March 8, the temperature was 86 degrees and would rose up to 95 degrees. There was an occasional rain and a thunderstorm. The average wind speed was 9.3 miles per hour northeast. At night, the temperature was in 76 degrees, and the average wind speed was 8.1 miles per hour north. For the Wednesday weather, March 9, we have a temperature of 85 degrees and would rose up to 96 degrees. There were some rain also on thunderstorm, and the average wind speed was 11.6 miles per hour northeast. At night, the temperature went down to 76 degrees and would rose up again to 79 degrees.
For March 10, 2022, Thursday, during daytime it has 86 degrees, a straight afternoon tea shower, and its maximum temperature is up to 96 degrees, and sustained wind is 8.1 meters per hour northeast. And during nighttime, it has 76 degrees, mostly cloud with a T-storm, and its minimum temperature is at 82 degrees. And for March 11, 2022, Friday, during daytime, it has 87 degrees, a morning T-storm in spots, and its maximum temperature is at 98 degrees, and its sustained wind is at 6.0 meters per hour, east-southeast. And during nighttime, it has 75 degrees, an evening tea shower in spots. Its minimum temperature is at 81 degrees. And for March 12, 2022, Saturday, during daytime, it has 87 degrees, cloudy with stray T-storm. Its maximum temperature is at 97 degrees, sustained wind at 6.0 meters per hour east-northeast. And during nighttime, it has 75 degrees, a thunderstorm around early. And its minimum temperature is at 83 degrees.
Alright, so the jargons or terms that we found in the weather app that we are using are moderate general flood advisory, forecast, rain, showers, and thunderstorms. First, let us talk about the moderate general flood advisory. This advisory is issued for the non-telemetered river basins. It is done as situation warrants, for example during inclement weather affecting the river basins in the particular region. Normally, it is issued at 7 a.m. and at 7 p.m. Next is the forecast, a prediction of weather conditions on the basis of correlated meteorological observations. And next is the rain. Rain is liquid water in the form of droplets that have condensed from atmospheric water vapor and then become heavy enough to fall under gravity. And also, we have the shower. Shower is a short fall of rain over a small area or region. Showers come from puffy clouds or cumuliform clouds like cumulus or cumulonimbus clouds. It is usually the result of accompanying winds associated with a rainstorm. Next, we have the thunderstorm. Thunderstorms are a violent, short-lived weather disturbance that is almost always associated with lightning, thunder, dense clouds, heavy rain or hail, and strong gusty winds. Thunderstorms arise when layers of warm, moist air rise in a large, swift updraft to cooler regions of the atmosphere.
Another jargon that is used in the app is the term precipitation. So, precipitation is any liquid or frozen water that forms in the atmosphere and then falls back into the surface. It comes in many forms like sleet, rain, snow, and others. But in the Philippines, there are only two phenomena that is under the term precipitation, and they are the rain and rain showers. But I think these two terms are already mentioned and defined early. So next in the app, we also have the term intermittent rains. So this is actually one of the different classifications of rains. So intermittent rains is a precipitation that ceases at times and then reoccurs again. Then we also have the term cloudy. So cloudy is actually one of the terms that is used to describe the sky condition. And this term means that the sky is covered with clouds between 6 to 8 octas or has more than 70% cloud cover. So octa is actually a unit of measurement that is used to describe the amount of cloud cover at a given location. Cloudy also means that there is predominantly more clouds than a clear sky. So for longer periods during the day, the sun is usually obscured by clouds. Next is the dew point. So dew point represents the temperature in which the air would have to be cooled to reach the level of moisture saturation. So when air reaches the dew point, droplets of water, or what we call as dew, will begin to form on solid objects such as grass, leaves, and cars. So there is also the term visibility. So visibility is defined as the distance that one can see that is determined by light and some weather conditions. So fog, mist, smog are just few of the weather conditions that may affect visibility. UV index was also seen in the weather app. So UV index or ultraviolet radiation index is actually a measure of the level of UV radiation. The values in this index ranges from 0 upwards. So the higher the level of UVI or the value of UVI means the stronger the UV radiation and the greater the potential for the damage to the eyes and skin, and the less time it takes for harm to occur. UV index is actually considered as an important vehicle according to the World Health Organization because it raises public awareness of the risks of excessive exposure to ultraviolet radiation, and it helps alert people about the need to use sun protection.
Now let's talk about cloud cover, humidity, air temperature, air pressure, and the Beaufort scale. Cloud cover refers to the fraction of sky obscured by clouds when observed from a particular location. It is an important component of understanding and predicting of the weather. Cloud cover does not only impact sky conditions and inform precipitation predictions, but also helps regulate temperature that occurs in a region. Now let's talk about humidity. Humidity is the amount of water vapor in the air. The larger the amount of water vapor in the air, the higher the humidity. There are three widely employed primary measurements of humidity. These are absolute humidity, relative humidity, and specific humidity. Absolute humidity describes the water content present in the air and is expressed in grams per cubic meter. Relative humidity is the amount of water vapor actually in the air. It is expressed as the percentage of the maximum amount of water vapor in the air can hold at the same temperature. Whereas specific humidity is the ratio of mass of water vapor to the total mass of the air parcel. Air temperature is the measure of how hot or cold the air is. It describes the kinetic energy of the gases that makes up the air. Air temperature is the most commonly measured weather parameter and is measured with the use of thermometers. Now let us tackle with air pressure. Air pressure is the amount of force of air exerted in a particular area. It is also an important component because it determines the temperature and density of air as well as the wind and weather pattern across the globe. Lastly, let's talk about the Bofo scale. Bofo scale is an empirical measure that relates wind speed to observed conditions at sea and land. It can estimate wind power without the use of wind instruments. Flash the screen is the Bofo wind scale chart. As you can see, there are 12 Bofo numbers with its respective description, wind speed, wave height, the land condition, and sea condition.